We'll start real quick. Some of you folks have had a chance to work with me, some not. But I'm Jim Thomas. And what we're working on today in Cows Through Field is we're using the cow as a tool to teach ourselves to get quieter. Because I watch people ride and I ride, and I find myself sometimes with a little too much urgency in trying to ask something of the horse. And if we're working with a cow, urgency will cause the cow, most cows, not ours, cause them to spook, get flighty, and run away. So you have to be really, really, really quiet. And if you think about a cow, it's like a balloon that's pumped all the way up, and all it needs is just the slightest little touch and it's going to pop. So again, my cows are pretty gentle. Even as babies, they're pretty gentle. So they aren't going to pop, but they're a really, really good tool for us to use that, let me see if I can ease my horse into that cow and get him to take a step, but not to take flight. And if we think about that, then as we get quieter with our horse, you're going to find out really fast how hard your horse listens and how easy he will respond to the cues that you ask. So many times we put a cue on the horse, he doesn't do anything, so then we gouge him or we yank on him, and then they get resistance to what we ask. And the horse is no different than you are. If somebody asks you something politely, and maybe your brain is off over here somewhere, and then they screamed at you, you're going to turn and says, "What are you screaming for?" You know, you're going to get offended by it. And the horse is the same way. And whereas you get, in most cases, you get offended and then offensive, the horse is going to get defensive and start protecting himself. And he's going to start going against everything that you ask. So when we get quieter and quieter with the horse, we find out, boy, I can't believe my horse just responded to that cue. And so that's the whole thing about why I feel like cows are such a good tool. You know, I don't know if anybody in here ever has a desire to just want to go out and work cows day to day to day. And, you know, the things you're going to learn here is definitely going to benefit you from that, but also the things you're going to learn here is going to benefit you in learning how to catch a horse because of the way that the cow reacts and the way the cow seeks his flight zone out. And as we start understanding that, then we can understand, because people ask me, how'd you catch a horse so easy? It's just like catching a cow, or just like working around a cow. And I'll go into that a little bit more in a moment. So anyway, everything that I teach today, 99% of it I learned from other people. I'm not going to sit here and say, this is what I came up with and this is what I came up with. I give everything, almost everything that I know, credit to other people. Right? And, you know, I watch a lot of clinicians and they, well, you know, I came up with this and I came up with that. And, you know, next thing they're going to say, I'm the one that taught everybody how to, you know, that a horse can be trained. You know, we've been working with horses for 5,000 years. And Xenophon, did I say that right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, this guy, this book that he wrote has been interpreted so many different times in so many different ways, and it goes back many thousands of years. So, you know, nobody just created this stuff yesterday. It's been going on and on and on and on. Now, we go away from what I call good horsemanship, and then hopefully most people will route themselves back. And horsemanship is nothing but just a good way of communicating a relationship, so to say, in communicating with your horse without them being offended. So and I don't view my horse as a partner. He is not my partner. And the horse is not there because he wants to be there. If anybody thinks that's the case, go turn your horse out and see where he goes. Okay? So I'm not going to cloud that up. I'm not going to say anything. You know, facts are facts. It is what it is. Now, if my horse seeks me out just because, I mean, in the summertime, I can be sitting in the barn here, and I can have my horse walking around. She's going to seek me out. She's going to wander through here, and she's going to stand and she says, "What you got for me?" Mm-hmm. She sees I don't have anything for her. It's not going to be long. She's going to move on out the barn. And she didn't come there because she loves me. Okay? All right. So, I've been working with horses since, gosh, I had my first horse when I was about 10. When I was a teenager, my dad and I, we did a little training for the public, but the way that I worked with horses then would probably get me put in jail today, okay? So it was very, very aggressive, very hard, that rope's not big enough, that stick's not big enough, you didn't hit hard enough to get that horse's attention. That's how I learned. And that's how most people learned back then. And believe it or not, that's where I would say 75% of the people still train, in that mindset. But when you learn that you can back off and you can get quieter, you aren't successful being that way with people, you will not be that way with horses and be successful. You can rule through intimidation or you can rule through cooperation. You just take your pick.